Hello, Sketchnoters. It's time to dive into this week's Elements lesson. And today we're going to learn about drawing people. To be truthful, this lesson has been weighing on me the most because people, they're the things that I have the hardest time with in my own sketchnoting. So I've been putting this lesson off, and then today I just decided to dive into it. So I'm going to be a bit vulnerable here. I'm going to do what I'm asking you to do, and I'm just going to share some of the things that I do when I draw people. So I find when I draw people, I need to be really zoomed in. I draw a nice circle. This is one of the kinds of people I draw. I will then draw sort of like a rectangular, triangular shape underneath, and then just a stick with a little loop and another one with a little loop for the feet. They're not even, but that's okay. And then arms out, little stick and a loop again for the hands. I don't like that. Little stick, no, little stick and the loop for the hands. So that's person number one, body attached, pretty standard. For the second person, again, I draw another circle and then I do another rectangle, but this one I don't attach. I like this sort of floating head look. I put feet right out at the edges, so right out there in a little loop, and again out in a little loop. And then I draw arms right up from the shoulders, and again the hands with a loop and a little thumb. There we go. So moving over here, a third circle. And from this one I draw almost like a teardrop shape and feet out. And I don't, for some reason on these guys, do the little loopy feet. Arms out, and then I can draw little sort of dots as hands. So with this guy, I like to fill him in. So I'll go to my fill tool, and I go to just a standard straight color. I'm going to pick a blue, and I double tap to fill in like we saw in an earlier week. And then if you look, I'll go back to a marker. I'll choose a thin brush stroke, and then I just draw a little line down the side, almost like a reflection. And I think it gives the character a little bit of depth. I like doing that. Anyway, okay, back to my other drawings. I like to, as my fourth sort of standard person I draw, it's a star person. I'm going to go a little bit thicker with my lead here, or my stroke rather. And I draw a circle. That one's better. And then I draw like a star shape around the person. And that's them. Those are the different people I draw. So head attached, head floating, rounded, and star guy. So one of the things I like to do is add a layer underneath if you are doing this digitally. If not, you can just take any gray marker. I change to this sort of paintbrush and choose a gray, and then squiggle underneath each of them a little shadow. Debbie Donsky is a girl I work with, and she does this, and I think it just adds such nice depth to your characters when they have a shadow underneath them. So you can pause now and give these kinds of people a try. All right, now that you know how to draw a sort of a type of person, let's give them some actions. I find if you pay attention to joints, so elbows and knees, it can really help convey an emotion or an action that these stick figure people are doing. So let's start with someone running. Draw his head, and then we're going to draw their body on a slight angle. It's not the greatest line there, but that's fine. From there, we're going to draw an arm out, so a little diagonal and out, and from the back, a leg, and another leg sort of kicking up, and he's running. You can sort of put lines behind him too if you wanted. I tend to stand up and put my body in a situation to see where my joints are. Okay, next person. Let's draw another head, and then we're going to do body slightly veered towards sort of our left there. Draw an arm up, another arm up. Any ideas what this person's doing? Draw a leg, another leg, and there we go, clicking their heels. They're jumping up, they're really happy. And notice I'm purposely not putting a face on these. We're going to come back to faces in a bit. I think you can do a lot with just stick figures. Okay, third person, head. Do a floating body this time. I'm going to get some feet out the side, and I'm going to skip it because I find it looks weird if I actually cross it. There we go. And then I'm going to join it. And now the arms will come straight out from the shoulders and they'll come up, and this person is very zen and relaxed, just cross-legged. See, pretty easy once you think about where the body parts are, but it's taken me a really long time to get here. Okay, next person. All right, another head, round circle. I'm going to do an attached body. Draw some arms, and they're going to be sort of coming out at their hips and feet, and the second foot up. This is your look when someone you know breaks curfew. Angry. Okay, next one, circle. We'll do a rounded body attached. And from here behind, I'm just going to go a bit longer. And I draw this person a lot and join it. Add some arms, same arms as the last person we did. And some feet. And superhero. I do this a lot for teachers I admire. Okay. Last person. We're going to draw a head. And body not attached, arms out and towards the middle. So go in, and we're going to point knees towards the middle, and this is after too much candy. You know what? I am going to draw one more. I'm going to draw one more. Okay, round head. Body sort of square and attached. Hands are sort of bent, elbows, palms facing up, feet. And now I'm just going to draw like a question mark. And now I know it's someone who's like, what? I don't understand what you're saying. Okay, one more. I can't resist. I see I don't like people, but I keep drawing them. Okay, a circle. A little sort of shape out. We're going to do two arms pointing in, the legs. And then this person can hold something. So let's change to red. And, you know, Valentine's Day is coming up, or maybe just passed. I forget when I'm releasing this video. And there we are. Love. So pause and try. This next one I've been doing a lot about conversations. So you sort of go down in an arc, triangle, line down, up, around, down. And I'm not very good at the chins yet. But so one side of the face. And then we sort of do the mirror on the other side. Now I know I'm going a little bit quickly. I'm sorry about that. Put two little eyeballs in. In my case, I can go to a thinner brush stroke, and I sort of like to do that. And I can put either words or in this case just lines, and there you have it. Two people having a conversation. You can add hair or not. I tend to do skin tone, but it's an easy way to draw conversations. Give it a go. Okay, so the last thing I want to do is crowds of people. Start by just drawing a circle with an arch underneath it, and I draw a few of these. Now, if you're doing it digitally, you could copy it like we've seen before, but you can also just draw for those analog drawers, obviously, out there. Now, behind them, you're going to sort of draw the same thing. Little crowd, little crowd. This is good if you're trying to represent class or group or something along those lines, and then you just keep drawing them. And as you draw more of them, there you go, you have a little crowd. Pretty easy. That's just the head crowd. I also like to do a crowd that has more sort of full bodies, and I do that with my star people. So I will show you how to start. I'm just going to move this down a little bit. Okay, draw another circle. And then the star person, like we saw earlier. And another star person, so the circle and the star. Don't worry if you're off as far as like one arm being sort of silly, because really in a crowd, it doesn't matter. No one's really looking at the whole group. They're just looking at parts. Okay, so now we're going to go into the back and just draw like we did up top, parts of their head. So this is a full body standing. This might be a rally. They might be holding signs. And there you go. Okay, the last thing you need layers for. So I'm going to add a layer, a couple of layers actually on top. And then we're going to draw their head. And I'm going to draw the star body again. Now with my cutting tool, I'm going to draw a circle around. And I'm going to copy it 2 fingers and drag. And again, 2 fingers drag, again, 2 fingers drag, and 2 fingers drag. Great. Now I'm going to do it on the layer below. I'm going to do paste. I'm going to make them bigger and slightly bigger than the guys in the back. And I'm going to click the check mark to say yes. And I'm going to copy this guy. Notice only copies in the front because that's the layer I'm on. And I'm going to repeat that again for the 3rd layer. And it's the bottom of the 3 layers that I added. I'm going to paste one last time. Bit bigger, but without going off the page. Okay, accept it. Copy him and go. Copy him and go. Copy and go. Okay, so now I have a messy crowd, but here's the trick. I'm going to go back to the layers and choose the one on top. And with my eraser tool, I'm going to make it kind of small, and I'm going to erase inside the bodies in that front row. So now these guys are standing behind. Be sort of careful here and in their face. Good. Now I'm going to go to that top layer, and I'm going to erase everything inside the people on the 2nd row. Carefully, you might erase some and that's fine. But now you can see it actually sort of looks like a crowd all sort of together. And there you go. This is something I tried recently and I think it works kind of cool. So give it a pause and give it a try. All right. Faces can be tricky, but I wanted to share this. It's called the face matrix. Eyebrows are important. I know it seems weird, but if you draw eyebrows, and they don't need to be this monobrow, and mouths in this matrix, you can get cool faces. Do note though that my 7-year-old twin sons do say that you need the squiggly line. That's what's missing from this, because that's what shows you if someone's mad. So there you go. Pause and try to draw some faces. Drawing hair is currently my biggest nemesis. So I've been going online and doing exactly what a lot of our pros have suggested. I've been searching and copying. This is the current one I'm working with. So rather than try to struggle through hair with you, I thought I would share with you where I currently am on my journey. It's hair, it's this. Try some, see what you can do. I'm having trouble with the crown, but I'm getting there because I'm practicing. And now it's your turn. Pause and draw some hair. So there you have it, folks. I did it. I faced my biggest fears. Here are people, faces, hair. Add some dimension if you want to. Figure out where joints are to give emotion. Draw some crowds. Struggle through the hair. Here it all is. If you want one last pause to give people a try. Don't forget to share in the class comments should you choose.